So this is a crunchy cali roll. This is 922 calories. I planned my whole day around it, so it is very high calorie.
Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are going to be talking about co-host Amberlynn Reed. I'm not going to go into detail about what's been going on since we've recorded the video. If you don't know anything about Amberlynn, go away, run away, save yourself. This is not the video for you. But we are going to be basically talking about what has been happening in the Amberverse since I talked about her. Now, the last time I talked about Amberlynn was a few weeks ago before I went on a trip home to visit family. And she basically said that she was going to start a new diet, but also not change anything about the way that she is going to be doing this diet.
You failed all your weight loss attempts so far. What do you think will be different this time? Nothing. The thing is, you guys have witnessed me failing.
Wait, I'm sorry. I want to listen to that one more time. Oh my God.
The thing is, you guys have witnessed me failing all of your weight loss attempts so far. What do you think will be different this time? Nothing. The thing is,
oh man, that's awesome, dude. I love that. I don't even know what to say. That's so funny to me. Nothing. Next question. I wish you just didn't even elaborate and just stop there. Nothing. So, next question.
is you guys have witnessed me failing all of these diets and fad diets and whatever it may be. But one thing about me is I've never given up. And I feel like a lot of people have experienced the same thing. They have literally yo-yo dieted their whole life. The only difference is theirs isn't documented publicly, while mine is. And all these people who finally become successful in losing their weight and reaching their goal, that's after multiple attempts.
So true, but also not exactly. Like, I think we're I think I'm still laughing about the nothing thing. We're at a point now where like we're in this is strange territory. Like, we're at a point where there ain't many people that have been in this position, right? That Amberlynn is in. I think that's what is so interesting to so many people, right? We have literally hundreds of people here right now watching me record this live. It's a very interesting situation where Amberlynn finds herself in. And I think it's fascinating to a lot of people because, yeah, people, there's been a lot of people that have tried to lose weight many times, and then they end up, they're able to find the thing that works for them. But I think the problem with Amberlynn and like the issue here is that it feels like there is zero follow through on any of these diets. Like, I mean, like we talked about a video where she uploaded herself that she was going to do this 10-day diet. And in the video that she announced the 10-day diet, she announced that she was quitting the 10-day diet. So it's like, there has to be a little bit of follow through on these things that you end up trying to do. And you can't just expect something to come along and solve it all, right? Like, you have to just be like, I am going to push through when it starts to get hard. And since that video that I recorded it while I was doing a live stream, there has been a lot of ups and downs in these different diets that Amberlynn has decided to try. We're not going to be going over all of the stuff that has happened in the other part of her life where it comes to ex partners that she's had and all this other drama. I'm thinking maybe I can do a live stream and talk about that with the Dunch crew. That maybe we can do that, but that's not what we're going to be talking about in this video. We are going to be focused on the diets, the successes, if you want to call them that, and the failures. So that's what we're going to be going over. We have gotten about a few different clips over the, this few weeks because there's been quite a bit of videos, but all these clips are really mainly focused on the diet, whether it's working or not. And we're just going to be sharing our thoughts. So with all that being said, let's jump into the first clip. Before we get any further into the video, I just wanted to say that we have merch now, and I'm super excited about how it all turned out. So as you can see here, a lot of it is very metal inspired, which is music that I like to listen to. But this t-shirt is the Gorl World faded t-shirt, and we also have one that's not a faded t-shirt that's going to have a couple different colors that you can choose from. We have an Obese to Beast hat, Obese to Beast shirts, Obese to Beast hoodie, as well as a Dunch Bros t-shirt, which if you know, you might not know exactly what this is in reference to. But if you want to check out any of the merch, there will be a link in the description. It really does help out a lot. And it means a lot that you guys are enjoying the stuff that I made, because I did make a lot of this stuff. Rachel helped with the Dunch Bros shirt, but I was able to make this myself, which I'm really, really happy with. But yeah, I'm super stoked with it. I hope you guys check it out and you enjoy it, but let's get back to the video. So this clip comes from pretty much the beginning of her doing these diets, and we're going to watch a good portion of this video. So let's just see what Amberlynn has to say.
Reality. So I'm going to be doing something more structured. I'm going to be counting calories. Yes, I am. I'm going to be using the app Noom, which I've already started and logged, put in my weight. They have lessons on there like that teaches you the psychology behind like why we eat and teaches you tricks. Like it has so many like mini lessons. It teaches you about nutrition, etc., etc. Like it's honestly such a cool and fascinating app, because like I'm sitting over here doing lessons. I'm like doing all the extra credit lessons, and I'm just like learning all types of stuff, but it's a lot of knowledge that I already know. But it's nice to have that like extra support. So the calories for it wants me to eat anywhere between 2,600 to like 3,200. And that's kind of hectic in my opinion. I'm not going to be going anywhere near the 3,000s because I have such a messed up metabolism due to like yo-yo dieting. Plus I went through menopause at the age of like 30. Like, are we joking? Plus the lymphedema.
So what we're hearing here, right, is I'm going to be starting Noom, which I've heard good things. A lot of people like it. You know, it's, in my opinion, it's just another app that does stuff. You know, it's another app you can put on your phone. Good for you if you do that. But initially, like right off the bat, we are seeing that she is deciding that she knows better than what this app is saying. I'm not saying that that's necessarily not true. It's just very funny to see Amberlynn be like, I'm going to start this new thing immediately when she starts talking about it. But I'm also not going to do what it's telling me to do.
And the lymphedema, like I lose weight differently. Like I'm not gonna lose weight the same as another person who weighs the same amount as me. It's like that's not realistic. That's not reality. We're all different. We all have our own different metabolic rates. So that means I really am just gonna aim for like the lower ball there. I'm gonna be aiming for like the 2,600. And I know even then that's a little rocky and a little iffy, because even at 2,600, like there have been times where I would gain weight from that.
So she is saying that if she eats 2,600 calories, she will gain weight from that. And this is such a common thing when it comes to people that are trying to lose weight, is that, like, she didn't say this, but like something you hear a lot of is, I am eating too little and that's making me gain weight, or it's making me hold on to my weight. That's not how it works, right? Usually when people say that, and again, yes, everyone is different, but for the most part, when people say that, what ends up actually happening is for 3-4 days out of the week, they are eating really low calories. Maybe they're eating 1,200, maybe even 1,000 calories, right? Obviously, I don't recommend that unless, you know, based on your size and all that stuff, those are the right calories for you, but everyone's different, right? But a lot of times they are hitting that number for 3-4 days out of the week, but then the rest of the 3 or 4 days, they're overeating, but in their head, they are so locked into, I am only eating this many calories, that the days that they are going over, they're not really almost realizing how many extra calories they're eating. And that ends up what's happening, right? They are, for the week, over their calorie limit, but they are struggling so hard on those 3 or 4 days when they're under eating that they're like, I don't understand why I'm not gaining weight. And I think that that's probably what happens with Amberlynn, right? That is what happens with Amberlynn. She talks about it all the time, right? She severely restricts, and then she, you know, eats a significant amount of calories, right? And that's the problem. And so I'm sorry, I think if Amberlynn, if you genuinely stuck to 2,600 calories every day and you did not falter, I really do believe you would lose weight. my opinion, of course.
So I'm just going to stick to it though. With Noom, they want you to weigh yourself daily because they believe, and they've seen studies where if you weigh yourself daily, you're more likely to succeed. And I do believe that as well.
I don't have a problem with weighing yourself daily. I think, again, obviously everyone's different and everyone's going to have a different relationship. But if you can weigh yourself daily and it doesn't bother you too much, I think it's a good data point. I think one of the biggest things is like people that kind of, you try and put your head in the sand and just don't want to look at the number. That's when things can kind of get out of control. So when you're kind of confronted with that number frequently, daily, or, every other day, whatever you end up doing, I think it can be just a good measuring stick. But again, if it starts becoming more than that, then that's something that you can kind of look at, right? But I personally don't have a problem with that.
I also want to talk about something else I said last week when I said I don't have an ideal goal weight, which that still stands. I have no idea what that looks like, but I do want to have like mini goals, something obtainable that I can reach. And they're not like these gigantic goals because then I feel overwhelmed and I give up.
That's a very good thing to do. This is something that I say with my clients all the time, is that we need to have small goals, because when you are hitting small goals frequently, you are getting that dopamine, right? You're like, I want to, one goal that I have with one of my clients is like, we're not going to eat out for this week, right? At all, right? And at first that felt scary because they were eating out quite frequently, but it was like, it's just 1 week, all right? We're just going to lock in for a week. And they proved to themselves that they could do it. And they were very proud of themselves for doing that thing, right? And so it reinforced good habits. It showed them that they could do it. And then we were able to reevaluate. It's not like, okay, you didn't eat out for a week. That means you just don't ever eat out anymore, right? No. But it's like, you can do it, right? And like that stuff's important. Having those small goals, I think, really is an important step when you're trying to lose weight. I think it can be helpful. If your only goal is I want to lose 100 pounds, it's going to take a while to do that, right? So you're not going to be getting that small dopamine hit.
Up, et cetera, et cetera. So as you guys know, my highest weight is 572.4. So regardless of when that happened, it doesn't matter.
572.4, baby. Let's go. We need to make some 572.4 merch. No, I'm just kidding.
But I think it would be a cool concept to like lose 100 pounds from that point. So my first mini goal is simply just be 472.4. So it's just 100 pounds away from that point. So then once I reach that goal, I will then create another small goal. So speaking of goals.
I mean, that's not really a small goal, Amberlynn. I think and respectfully, but if we're looking at your past and the things that you've tried, I think we should make a even smaller goal, if I'm being completely honest.
So for the 2 goals that I had last week, first one was drink 2 water bottles a day. That was coming from drinking no water at all. Did I do that? My next goal was only order takeout.
Drinking no water at all is crazy. I'm sorry. That's crazy.
3 times a week. And that's coming from ordering it like up to 8 to 14 times in a week. Did I do that? So for the 2 water bottles, yes.
8 to 14 times. God dang, brother.
Yes, I did. I drank 2 water bottles every single day, and I'm very proud of that. Thank you, thank you. I know, round of applause. Did I succeed in the 3 times takeout though? So on Wednesday, I had Panda Express, that's 1. On Friday, I ordered Hawaiian food, so that's 2. And then on Sunday, I ordered sushi, that's 3. I was successful, you guys. I actually freaking did it. Can you believe it? Like, I was shocked. Color me shocked.
I mean, who knows if you're telling the truth at this point? I mean, maybe that's negative to say, but I mean, if you did that, that's great. But again, like, you have the ability to eat every meal at home and make the meals yourself. Why not make that a goal? Why not set that goal for yourself? Why not set that mini goal? A week of eating only foods that you make yourself. And that means not ordering from Uber Eats, right? Or DoorDash, but also not going out to eat. Like, I'm going to hold off. We'll just keep going.
For real. So I'm actually going to have 4 goals this week. And that does make me a little nervous because even just having 2 goals was hard enough. But it's like, I'm just going to carry on the 2 goals that I already had. I want to continue having 2 water bottles a day, only order takeout 3 times a week. But now I'm adding on log my calories on Noom every single day, no matter what. Even if I go over, Like, do not let that stop me. I want to form that habit really bad. So in counting calories, that means I need to like weigh my food, I need to measure my food, and I need to like take it more serious and not just like guess, because I do a lot of guessing, which I'm usually pretty accurate.
Come on. You're pretty accurate. It is incredibly hard to guesstimate calories. It is incredibly hard, especially when you are ordering out. So I'm going to call BS on that, respectfully, of course. You're not nearly as close as you think you are. That's just, I'm sorry. No matter how good you are at tracking calories, if you did not make the food yourself, you have no idea how that food is made. Again, my opinion.
I understand that I'm over 500 pounds, fully aware, but I have been dieting since I was 10 years old. So for 24 years, I have learned so much knowledge. I've done this so many times that it's pretty simple. I know all the tools, I just don't use the tools. I really want to focus like measuring my food, etc., logging it into Noom, yes. My other goal is I'm going to be doing intermittent fasting. So I like doing IF. It is very hard because
So if you don't know what intermittent fasting is, just for those of you that maybe aren't aware, intermittent fasting, IF stands for intermittent fasting. It means, it kind of means something different to every person, but most of the time it's like, I'm not going to eat for this period of time during the day, and I will only allow myself to eat for this period of time of day, right? Most people kind of do it to where they do. I mean, a lot of people just say intermittent fasting is just skipping breakfast, which kind of sometimes it is, because sometimes people have an 8-hour window, and basically they don't start eating until, like noon, and then they end eating at 8 p.m. and that's the only time they eat in a day, right? And so it looks different for everyone. The window can be different, the number, the size, the amount of hours. Some people will do intermittent fasting and also OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. It's all different. Everyone's different, but that's kind of what she's talking about here, if you don't know what that is.
I like to eat in an 8-hour window. So that leaves 16 hours a day where I'm not eating. And it's like, it's great. It's fun when you're sleeping. It's fine. But on average, I only get like 6 to 7 hours of sleep at night. I know that's kind of low for some people. That's just the way my body rolls, okay? Rolls. It is hard, but it's also helpful because I know that within those 8 hours, like that is the time that I get to eat my food. So then when I'm out of those hours, I like try so hard to like distract myself.
So I'm going to spoil this, but she does not stick to intermittent fasting for very long, if at all. And so I just want you to know that while you're watching this clip, okay?
And I don't focus on food as hard because it's like when I get to eat whenever I want, it's like all I do is think about food. But I notice I think about food less when I'm not in an eating window.
So she's saying this, again, now you have the knowledge that she does not stick to this at all. And so that's the thing when it's like, when people are like, I don't really believe anything that she says, is because she will give you this explanation that's like, okay, that makes sense. And then the next video will be saying, oh, that actually isn't going to work for me. And I have an explanation as to why. And it's just like, Amberlynn, losing weight and dieting is going to be hard no matter what you do. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable to an extent. Does that mean that you have to do the craziest diet and freaking go out there and walk as much as you can every day? No, but you have to be a little uncomfortable. You have to do something that is a little hard, but it feels like if anything starts to make you feel some pushback or uncomfortable, you're like, well, I tried, moving on, right? Like, how do you not see this? You have to see this, right? Am I going crazy? Help me, please.
So since this is a reset, we're resetting, okay? So my weigh-in for today was 523.8.
So we're 523.8, so now we are up from the beginning, which was 519.8. Just putting that out there.
Crazy. It's hectic. I have not weighed this much in years. I'm super inflamed. I have a lot of inflammation going on. I'm swollen. That's just the way, the cookie crumbles, no pun intended. And I really hope next week I can come on here and be like, you guys, I was successful at all my goals again. You guys, I lost weight. So we'll see. Wish me luck.
All right. So that is Video number 1, we are going to be going over to video number 2, which is titled Counting Calories While Ordering Takeout. What I ate today, episode number 2. All right, let's see what she has to say for herself.
It wants you to eat anywhere between 2,600 to 3,400, which is kind of hecticana, to be honest, because my body is different. Like, there's multiple reasons for this. I have talked about it ad nauseum. Long story short, your girl, like, went through menopause. Menopause changes your metabolism so much. It's insane. I also have lipedema, lymphedema, whatever. We don't have to get into it. Anyways, so I try very hard to stay near the 26, not the 3,400. That freaks me out a little bit. So I just wanted to...
Honestly, like, I genuinely believe that Amberlynn could eat around 3,000 calories if she stuck to it and lost weight. When you're that size, like... Whatever, man. I'm beating a dead horse at this point.
Say like what I'm allotted, so we know at the end of the day if I've reached that goal, if I've gone over, etc., etc. All right, let's get into my first meal. All right, you guys, it is time for my first meal. I planned my whole day around this. So it was last week sometime.
I planned my whole day around a meal that I ordered out. Does that sound like that's probably a good thing? You know, I'm just going to put that in. I'm just going to say that.
I was craving sushi, and so I ordered it from some random place. I made sure to get somewhere that like had a really high rating because I am really picky when it comes to my sushi.
So like what we're seeing here, right, is immediately how can I make this as easy as possible for myself and feel as little discomfort as I can. And like you might hear that and be like, no, that's probably a good thing. Again, are we going to make any progress doing that? I don't think that's going to happen. This is not a good way for you to start this. We need to be like, let's do some things that kind of scare me. Let's do something that feels hard. And if you like are starting that and being like, well, if it's hard, then I won't do it. Brother, there are other things that we need to talk about then. Like, losing weight is not fun and games. It's difficult. I'm not saying it has to feel like a freaking Herculean task every day of every second of every moment. If that's the case, then yeah, there's things that we can look at. But it's not going to be sunshine, rainbows. It's going to be a little difficult, and that's okay. That's what makes it worth doing, in my opinion.
So here's just like some soy sauce, chopsticks, but I use my fingers, not gonna lie. Yeah, so I'm picky when it comes to my sushi. So I got this place.
I'm sorry. Again, this is a little judgmental, but saying I'm picky when it comes to my sushi while also saying, but I also eat it with my fingers is very funny.
I'm really nervous. And you guys, it is the best sushi I've ever had.
I'm just like imagining her going to a sushi bar and sitting in front of the sushi chef, I'm sure there's a right term for that, and being like, yes, I'm very picky when it comes to my sushi. I know the good stuff. And then sitting there, they make it just beautiful for you, and you're just like, thank you. Let me use my fingies. Okay, I'm sorry.
So this is a crunchy cali roll. This is 922 calories. I planned my whole day around it. So it is very high calorie. I'm able to eat in moderation.
922 calories for 2 rolls of sushi.
And still fit everything into my goal for the day. So excited. Look how delicious. Just so you guys can see it a little better. Here, I'm going to show you guys the inside.
We're using
a little bit of avocado.
We're using our fingies to grab the sushi. Yummy.
Avocado and like this crab salad mixture. It's so good. That is so delicious. Who else loves ginger? I'm obsessed. So with this, I don't use soy sauce or anything. Like, it's literally that good. So as you can see, it is crispy around the edges because it's lightly fried.
I just love that it's lightly fried, you guys. Don't even worry about it. It's just the light frying, okay? It's not heavy fried, you guys, okay? It's just lightly fried. Don't even worry about it.
Like, lightly. I've had, like, actual tempura and, like, overly fried sushi. Not really a fan of that. But this is just, like,
Bro, where is you getting the sushi at? Are you going to the state fair and getting deep fried sushi? Okay, like what are you talking about, dude?
Perfect. It's just a very light fry. It's so good.
Just again, I'm just imagining sitting in front of a sushi chef. I'd be like, oh, I love sushi. I'm very picky. Could I get the deep fried sushi, chef, please? Hook me up, brother. I want the deep fried stuff. Lightly deep fried, by the way.
And I forgot to say, because some people haven't had sushi before. Surprising, I know. All of that stuff right there that you see is rice and also a little bit of seaweed. So I'm going to go eat this, and I'm going to be watching on Hulu The Good American.
So again, 922 calories. Again, who knows? And that's the thing. It's impossible to say. Like, how did she get this calorie information? How is she so sure that it's definitely this many calories? Again, it's impossible to know, and that's one of the biggest things when it comes to tracking everything. And I put everything into MyFitnessPal, and this is definitely what it is. It's just a lot of times it's the hope that I'm just hoping that I'm right, basically, about this, right? Okay, moving on to the next video that we have. So this is coming from my ex's wife is obsessed with me copying reaction channels and calories at bingo. Great title for a video. I love it. And so we are going to be talking again a little bit more about food and the rules that come with whatever this diet is that we're doing. So let's hear what Amberlynn has to say here.
And with the new routine, while also still trying to keep up with everything else around the house. All right, you guys, so since I'm counting calories, I thought something that could be fun is to tell you guys what I had at bingo and how many calories it was.
And so I just want to make it clear that one thing that she's saying here, right? This doesn't, I'm sorry. This doesn't count as eating out because I don't know. We'll see her reasoning, but these don't count towards the 3 allotted I'm eating out this many times for the week. Okay, so just want to put that out there.
So these pretzels were my mom's because we both got an appetizer. You will see mine in a minute, but she wanted me to try one. So the one that's bitten off, that one is mine. For my appetizer, I got this mini quesadilla. It's a cheese quesadilla. So good. I had a little bit of sour cream. You guys know me, I'm a dry girl. And a little bit of salsa because I do like some spice. Super freaking tasty. And then they have these chocolate chip cookies that are divine. Usually I have 3, but I only had 2.
Wow. Only 2 cookies. How long is bingo? How long are you there? Why do we need so much sustenance at bingo? Do we need to eat out at bingo? Is it really that big of a need? Could we maybe make some food before? We're going to be there for, I don't know, it seems like you're there for 6 hours and then go home and maybe hey, or maybe bring a little snack with us. Maybe bring a protein bar. Bring something with us because we know we're going to get hungry. Bingo works up the appetite, you know? And maybe we do that, right? Do we need to eat so many random things at bingo? I don't know.
I was very proud of myself. So I gave the other one to my stepdad and he enjoyed it. And then a couple hours later for my actual meal, I got potato wedges and chicken strips. I did not eat the bread though, so keep that in mind for my calories. That was not 8. And I did dip it in just the tiniest bit of ranch.
Again, and it's like the way that she's saying all this, I feel like she knows she's being ridiculous, dude. Like it's ridiculous to hear this. And she knows it. I guarantee, like she knows how ridiculous this is, but at this point it's like, well, screw it. Why not? I'll just freaking vibe out with some chicken fingies. Are these deep fried chicken fingies or maybe lightly fried? I don't know. Those fries look definitely like they're fully deep fried, not lightly fried fries. I don't know. Let me know. Comment section down below. Let me know what you think about those.
So for calories, it did come out to a banger, not gonna lie. So I had no cheese with the pretzel, so it was 101 calories.
Dude. It's so funny to be like, 1,200 calories at bingo. But with the pretzels, dude, I didn't have any cheese. So freaking good job for me. Come on, man.
Quesadilla, 322. Sour cream, 23. Ranch, 64. Chicken strips were 307. Potato wedges was 226. Cookies, 170. Came out to 1,213.
So this is like the perfect example of like overestimating how good you could be at tracking. There's just no way that you know for sure that this is the exact number of calories. Is it good that maybe you tracked it and you were honest? Yes, but at the same time, like it would be much better if you ate before you went to bingo, brought a little snack with yourself, and then ate afterwards. Or I don't know when bingo is happening. I've never done bingo, right? And so I know I am the worst, but I don't know what time this is, but I don't know if maybe it's after dinner time, I don't really know when they're going, right? But maybe eat a little bit before, have a snack with yourself, bring it with you, right? Unless you're not allowed to bring in food with yourself. Maybe, I don't know how that works. I assume you'd be able to bring in some sort of bar, protein bar, something, and then eat afterwards. You'd save a lot of money, you'd save a lot of calories, and you would be 100% closer to your goals than just trying to fit in all this, pardon my French, shit food. This is, okay, I'm just... Deep breath, John. Let's just keep it pushing, all right?
Thankfully, I have hundreds of calories for wiggle room because Noom wants me to eat upwards to like 3,400, and I usually try to stay.
That is crazy. This whole time she's been saying, I'm never going to eat around 3,400. That's crazy. And then she's like, but I have a ton of calories and I can eat up to 3,400. It's just like, come on, dude.
Below 2,600. So give or take, these are the calories, and I just stayed on track for the rest of the day surrounding that.
So we have that. And then again, this is the same video, okay? This is the same video. We're just going to be skipping ahead a little bit. This is what she ends up eating.
That's very true. I got catfish tacos. That looks tasty. You know,
like, what are we doing here? You know, it just like there is, and again, this doesn't count towards the 3 meals a week. It's just, it's like, come on, man. All right. So we're going, speaking of that, we're going to skip to the next video, which is I need to make something very clear, weigh in episode number 3. And we see here on this title card that it says, why don't you count the food you have out as ordering takeout? Let's hear the mental gymnastics. The explanation.
You count the food that you have out as ordering takeout, because this specific goal was about my relationship with ordering takeout food. It has honestly been a very, very, very bad habit that I have dealt with every day for years. I have relied on it for convenience, out of boredom, just because I wanted to. I was too lazy to cook. And these are all the things that I am trying to actively work on. And going to have a meal with my mom at bingo, or if we go out to eat, I would still, for my other meal, come home and order takeout. Like, Uber has just been like one of my worst habits.
Okay, so if it's such a bad habit, I think the thing to do is get rid of those apps on your phone and tell yourself that isn't an option. It is not going to kill you, man. It is going to be good for you. And it's like, I'm not saying you can never use these things, but you need to show yourself for a period of time you can not order out, period. It might sound scary and it might feel hard. That's okay. That's life. That's doing things that make us uncomfortable, that make us better, right? If you're immediately saying, I'm going to do this thing, but then giving yourself outs immediately, you're not actually trying. That's my hot take.
Like, truly, one of my very worst habits. So this goal was for me to improve in that. Going out and having a meal at bingo or having a meal wherever with my mom, that's about like connection and spending time.
Okay, you can spend time with your mom that in a place that doesn't revolve around food. Like, there are so many things that you could do that have nothing to do with food, that can be about connection with your mom. Bring her over, cook her a meal, have her cook you a meal. I don't know. Like, there are so many other things that you can do that don't have to revolve around food, right?
Uber was definitely not about that. Uber was about convenience and the fact that I'm lazy and the fact that I'm addicted to ordering takeout from my app, having it delivered to my home.
So you're saying you're addicted, but then you are, one, obviously eating out a ton with your mom. But then on top of that, you are still allowing yourself to use these apps 3 times a week. Why not just be like, hey, I'm addicted. This is a very, very, very harmful thing I'm doing. I need to stop.
Problem I'm actively targeting is stopping that, or at least lessening it drastically. I'm not gonna sit here and take away having a meal with my mom at bingo, because that's not the issue. That's not what's gonna make me gain weight.
Are you having a meal with your mom at bingo? Or are you just eating crap food while being mildly entertained? Like, are you really having a meal with your mom at bingo? I don't know. I'm not a bingo guy. Maybe someone let me know down, all you bingo guys and gals, let me know what bingo's like. But I don't think that's the most like bonding experience, having fried chicken nuggies at bingo. Like, come on, dude.
That's not what's causing laziness, and it's never out of boredom. I'm not trying to overhaul everything in my whole life and just wake up overnight and be like, I cannot even eat out. I cannot eat with my mom at bingo. Nope, not allowed. So my goal was to pick something that is like drastically making it to where I...
And like the thing is that of course, Amber, you can do this. You can make that be your goal, right? But where are we 10 years into this journey? Where are we? Have we made any progress? I'm just going to let you answer that question, right? If you want to make serious change, you're going to have to make some serious changes, some serious concessions, right? Change some stuff up. Yes, it's going to be scary. That is the point. You have to make things difficult. Like, it has to feel a little hard. It can't just be like, Mom, this is super easy. Clearly this isn't working, right?
I don't reach my goals at all. And that is what I'm targeting. Like, mentally and emotionally, ordering takeout from my Uber Eats and having it delivered to me daily for years and years, sometimes twice a day, is very unhealthy. That is what is ultimately holding me back the most. Will you start?
Yeah, I understand that that's what's holding you back the most. But again, there is still so much more that you could do when it comes to the Uber Eats, in my opinion, that wouldn't be that difficult, right? And I'm not saying you can never eat out for ever again, right? But give yourself a goal, 2 weeks of no Uber, no eating out, and do it, right? Because you can. It's not like it's impossible. That you could even if you wanted to have grocery delivered to your door, right? You can still use it for that. But just like every meal I eat, I am making. Even if it's a freaking Stouffer's meal that you're putting in the microwave, right? Like, I am making it, right? Like, there's just, I don't know. It is what it is. All right. So we're going to move on. The next video that we're going to be talking about is this one right here. I can't fit in the shower. This is why I'm quitting and dispelling the rumors. Again, great title of the vlog. Let's see what she has to say in this video. It's the next day, and we're looking at the shower, and
Hello, how y'all doing? The hectic, fat-phobic things that I do for this channel.
So what she's saying there is that she's saying people say that she can't fit into her shower, so she's popping out of the shower to prove that she can fit in the shower. Again, why even bring it up? Like, all this does is add fuel to the fire. That's all it does. It's not proving anything to anyone.
But hello, it is the next day. And I know I have a little thingy that says next day, but I like to say it out loud for those who are literally just using me as white noise if you're like cleaning, doing things, So I actually just filmed, edited, and scheduled my Let's Talk video. So I have been working for hours. It was a very rocky Let's Talk video. There was some drama, there was some tea, there was some anxiety, there was some crying, there was some sincerity, there was all of it. All right, you guys, so I'm currently cooking some dinner, and I wonder if Girl World will implode when they find out all of these potatoes is only 320 calories.
I really like those potatoes a lot. This is something that I recommend potatoes to most of my clients. I think it's one of those things that a lot of us, a lot of people just seem to think potatoes are bad. I think a lot of times it's a lot of times the issue is how the potatoes are prepared. If they're lightly fried, I'm sorry. But obviously French fries are not going to be the healthiest, but potatoes are really high in satiety. They make you feel really good. They make you feel really full. And like, I personally, I really like these little like what is it, like Little Potato Company, I think is what it's called. There really are. I mean, they're definitely not there's definitely cheaper ways. Like potatoes, the reason they're so good is because they're so cheap as well. These things are not very cheap, but again, you pay for the convenience, and they do taste very good. You don't really have to do much to them. So it's definitely something worth, if you see them at the store, I recommend trying them out. If you're just like, hey, I want to try potatoes, right?
Yep. That's it. Okay, you guys. So I want to vent. I want to talk. I want to express my feelings and thoughts. I'm probably going to talk about this in my What I Ate Today video, which I'm filming tomorrow, but it's not going up until Saturday. And I know not everyone watches every single video of mine, so I might rant about it here. So we have some lean steak, we have some potatoes, and I made some corn with Brussels sprouts, like yum. So as you guys saw, I had a little joking clip before this about potatoes. These potatoes are so low calorie. That whole container is literally just 320 calories. It literally says it on the nutrition label. Oh my God. You guys, make corn and Brussels sprouts in a pan with your preferred seasonings. Cook it. Holy shit. Chef's kiss. So I'm gonna stop talking about calories. Yes, I am.
Okay, well now we're not talking about calories anymore.
Counting calories, measuring my food. But every single time I talk about calories, people are like, nope, that's not real. Even though it's literally on the label right in front of my face. 80 calories.
Dude, okay. So this is frustrating because it's like you're lumping everyone into one, everyone is saying this, right? I think there's plenty of people that have genuine like criticisms of the calories that you're putting out there, especially again, when you are counting the calories of things that you aren't cooking, you don't know how they are prepared. You're guesstimating at the best you can say is you're guesstimating, right? And again, when we are looking at the facts, the fact that you've been dieting for this amount of time, the weight hasn't come off. Clearly there is a broken chain somewhere in that, that chain. And I think part of it is underestimating how many calories you're having, right? I think that's fair to say. Yeah, like maybe these potatoes, these exact potatoes, the amount of calories that are on it are going to be relatively close to that label. But even when you have a label, right? The best way that I always say was like with protein bars, right? Like even if the protein bar says it's 200 calories, the protein bar might say it weighs 190 grams, but you go and weigh it and it's actually 185 grams, right? So even when the label says it's this amount of calories, you can't be 100% certain. And it's this kind of smug attitude that really rubs people the wrong way, right? And people don't like to see it, especially from someone that has been struggling with their weight for so long and they claim to be some sort of expert when clearly everything that they have done has ended in complete failure. And I mean that in the kindest way possible, but it's like, but then we see Amber here talking and being very condescending about that stuff, right? Yes, I'm sure there are people that say that kind of stuff, but lumping everyone into it is going to cause some backlash, right?
For so-and-so amount of grams. I weigh it right in front of me. I'm just like being gaslit and it's actually triggering me. And I feel like a large amount.
Okay, you're being gaslit and it's triggering you. You are the one that decided to do this. No one is forcing you to do this. So if you, there are going to be people that are going to have opinions. And Amberlynn, I know that you're not stupid. You know the vast majority of people that watch these videos are quote unquote haters. So they aren't going to be the nicest. They're not going to have the nicest stuff to say. And so then you come on here and you're like, oh my God, you guys did the thing I thought you would do. I can't believe it. I'm not going to show my calories anymore. Like, dude, then don't do it. You don't need to announce every single thing you are doing. And this happens every single time. It's just like, why put yourself, you're putting yourself in a position and then you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in this position. You guys, can you believe it? Yes, because you put yourself there. What do you mean? You don't have to have this whole series about losing weight and about tracking your calories if you don't want to. No one is forcing you to do this. You have done this yourself. You decided to do this. Why? Then stop. I don't understand what you are expecting from this.
A lot of people are doing it just to be bothersome, just to do the opposite of whatever I say. I hate counting calories. I hate it more than anything in the world. So when I'm doing it, I do it accurately. And to have a bunch of people look at my plate.
Brother, you hate counting calories. So when you do it you are guesstimating. How do you know that for 100% certainty, those 2 rolls of sushi, lightly fried, was 922 calories. Do you know for sure? Be honest. How do you know? Exactly. Why? I just don't get it. It's like so silly to sit here and be like, I know for sure, while also struggling to lose weight for this extended period of time on YouTube, right?
And assume they can just like guesstimate with their mind and measure it with their mind and assume they know how many calories it is. Like, it's triggering for me. For some people, like having their body talked about is triggering. Or for some people, like say you're like sitting in a room and you're on a diet and you're eating like a little tiny cupcake and like someone comes up to you and they're just like, aren't you on a diet? Like, why are you eating a cupcake? Like, that could be super triggering for people. In the same sense of like so many people coming at me thinking they know how many calories is on my plate when they literally don't. And it's every single time I mention calories. Every single time. Like,
I mean, like, you knew that was going, I just don't understand. Like, you knew that was going to happen. It happens every single time. Hello?
I saw a comment where I literally had like 160 calories worth of potato on my plate and someone's like, that's 1,000 calories. I'm over here just like, what is happening? And then the steak is a good example. Some steaks have more calories than other steaks. This is a lean steak. So the calories in this are a lot lower versus the calories that would be in a steak that had a higher fat content. But
okay, so we are using the thing that like yeah, she can prove this the most. But again, what about all the food we're talking about at bingo? What about all that sushi? How do you know for sure, 100% fact, that's how many calories are in it? You don't. And that's okay. That's how it is. That's why it's not the most helpful thing to eat out so frequently when you are trying to lose weight, because it's impossible to be 100% sure. Like, okay, let's just keep going. This video is already long enough.
You don't know that just by looking at my plate. So I don't really want to rant about all of this in my what I ate today video. I kind of just want my what I ate today video just to be strictly that. I am going to mention in it briefly that I will not be sharing calories in it because it's triggering for me, but I'm not really going to go into detail why. But yeah, hopefully you guys understand. And I'm telling you right now, I think one of my favorite vegetables is a Brussels sprout. If it's cooked right, this little guy right here, he knows what he's doing. So leftovers for tomorrow. So I'll probably be eating this in my what I ate today video tomorrow.
And this next clip, again, this is from the same video that we were just watching, where it looks like we have some more takeout that, you know, this one counts towards our you know, weekly allowance. So let's see what this is all about. One
of my like favorite things in the world, like years ago, if someone would be like, so what's your favorite food? There was a phase where I said samosas. So that's what this guy is. It's literally just peas, potatoes, and like Indian spices on the inside. So good. So we have a massive piece of cauliflower. I am obsessed with biryani, and vegetable biryani is my favorite. Here we have a carrot.
So again, you know, not to sound like a broken record, but how do you know for a fact how many calories are in that food? You know, I'm just wondering, do you know exactly how they cooked it? What oils they used? What kind of oil they fried that potato thing in? Like, do you know for sure? I don't know.
That's bomb. Which is literally just rice, tons of veggies, tons of Indian spices. You can get this with lamb, which I would never do, or chicken, which I've done in the past. Indian is so good. So yeah, I'm sorry for not filming anything yesterday. I just had the greatest time, and I've just been a bit disconnected as well to this vlog in particular, and that's okay. Not every weekly vlog is going to be up to par. This might be one of the best samosas I've ever.
Not every weekly vlog is going to be up to par. That's true. That is true.
Had. Look how delicious that looks. Oh, by the way, I did order some Torrid because Torrid dropped a whole section called Nightfall.
A Torrid haul? You ordered stuff from Torrid? Oh my gosh. New stuff. We're getting new content, baby.
And it's all literally my aesthetic. And I was like, thank you, Torrid. You finally did it. I have been waiting. You guys remember years?
Yep. You know, Amberlynn, she hasn't ordered from Torrid in probably like 3 days, brother.
Years and years ago, like I would buy everything on Torrid, but that was when I didn't have a sense of myself. I had no idea what type of style I liked. I didn't know who I was at all. And do I 100% know who I am now? Not really. But I do know what kind of clothing aesthetic I like for myself. and I've been new for a minute now. I like darker clothing on me. Blacks, maroons, like a darker shades of purple. And I've been...
Bro, yep, you know what? I feel it. I think that this is your aesthetic. This is the bingo fit for sure.
Waiting for Torrid to drop something like this, and they finally did. So yeah, that was actually delivered yesterday, so I have to go to the package room and get it. So in my next weekly vlog, we're gonna be having a Torrid haul, folks. Oh my god, look at that delicious cauliflower. Okay, you guys, so I have not done a grocery haul in a hot minute, so let's do one. So first things first, I got some eggs. I'm gonna be putting away some of my groceries as I go, but be proud of me. I have a lot of my Indian food left over, and I'm just gonna eat it throughout the day because it was a lot of food.
How many calories was it? I'm sorry. Oh man, be proud of you. Okay, I mean, okay, I'm just gonna keep going.
I got cauliflower, 2 things of cottage cheese because I personally love it. It's a good source of protein. You can use it for so many different things. I got garlic stuffed green olives. I got some more small sweet peppers, mini cucumbers, some grapes that I'm actually gonna be freezing. Frozen grapes are so good. I do have to wash these before I freeze them. I got some macarons and Amy's
Macarons? Okay.
pesto tortellini TV dinner, a ravioli, a paneer TV dinner, a roast turkey with mashed potatoes, a mac and cheese, and a Swedish meatball. I like having these because it takes away my thinking when I feel like, oh my god, I do not want to cook. Instead, let me order takeout and have thousands and thousands of calories. I'd rather plop one of these in for only 500. I got a bag of...
Okay, so you say there that you don't want to eat out and eat thousands and thousands of calories, but every time you talk about the foods that you are getting when you eat out, it's this number that you have come up with that isn't thousands and thousands of calories, and you are actually like, you know what I mean? Like, hello, I'm glad that you have those TV dinners, but I think you should rely on those as little as possible and try to actually make some food. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be very simple meals. Like, we don't have to, reinvent the wheel here. But if the only meals you are eating are TV dinners and then, the takeout 3 times a week, as well as whenever you go out to bingo and eat out with your mom, like, we have to use some common sense, right? If we're trying to lose weight, we're trying to improve our diet. If the only meals we're eating is TV dinners, eating out with our parents, and ordering takeout, are you really putting in that much effort to change your life? Because at this point, right, we need to make a serious life change. Are we actually doing that? I can't answer that question. If you genuinely feel that you are doing everything in your power to lose weight because it's super important to you, then I guess, be my guest, continue doing that. But I feel like there could be a little bit more effort and a little bit more, just really trying to put your nose to the grindstone and make something happen, right? But again, that's just my opinion.
Of this like blueberry chocolate situation type deal. 2 things of Italian style chicken sausage, some raspberries, which I recently discovered. I love raspberry. I needed some more minced garlic. So sadly they didn't have a bag just of broccoli. So I got broccoli and cauliflower, which is fine because I do love cauliflower. Some celery. Last but not least, some scallion. All right, you guys, Lego update.
All right. And so that is pretty much the update. Those are all the clips because I think this video was actually uploaded as I'm recording this yesterday. And so I'm sure there'll be something new up very soon, and that's how it always goes, right? There's always more stuff. But I think basically I've kind of said everything that I need to say, probably more than I should have said. But we're back on the ALR train. And so if anyone wants to be part of Gorl World, we do have the Gorl World shirts that you can order, as well as this hat. This is an Obese to Beast hat right here. So check that out. There will be links for all of the merch in the description. It does help us out a lot, and so I appreciate it. But please let me know what you guys think down in the comments section down below. Amberlynn, I think there could be a little bit more effort, if I'm being completely honest, but that's just my opinion. And so let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.